What's going on, everybody? Resale Rabbit here. We are doing another estate auction, and this is one that I'm really excited about. We just arrived on site. I'm waiting for the representative from the bank. This is all in a trust, but it is such a cool house inside. Probably one of the coolest houses we've ever done. So 3 months ago, we did Green Bay Nursery, which was the largest auction we had ever done, most lots. It is the most valuable auction we've ever done. We did like $55,000 in sales, and it had the most expensive item we'd ever sold, a skid steer, although that was recently passed by a Mercedes we just sold. This auction may beat that one on number of lots. It will probably beat it on price, and it will have the most expensive item we ever sold. So this is gonna be a really exciting auction. It is not just an estate. It's not just a really cool house. We've got this building here, and if you go all the way around, there's another building back there. And what makes it really unique, that other building back there, it is an adult photography studio. There's a waterfall in this house. It has been months since I've been here. I think it was around springtime I was here last, so I don't remember everything, but I remember there's a waterfall in the house, like a full waterfall. There is, but the photography studio, it was an adult photography studio, so there's gonna be a lot of stuff related to that. But there's also a ton of cameras. He did a lot of film shoots, so there's a lot of film. He's got his own dark room, film photography related. So I'm really excited to get in here. Everything is in a trust. It's all being donated to a local charity. We're not allowed to say the name of the charity, so we're just calling it an anonymous charity. It should be a really good one. I'm so excited to get in there. There's so much cool stuff in this house. This is gonna be a really good one. So anyways, once the bank gets here, let's go inside. So we've got this Jeep. We're trying to jump start it. It's been sitting, everything here's been sitting for over a year now. Cannot get it started, so I'm gonna have to just bring in a charger at some point. See if we can charge up the battery, because it won't jump. So I got this one started, and it is, check this out. So this is a 2013. It's, what did I make it, 12 years old? It's got less than 3,000 miles on it. We have our resident movie expert coming in to look at the movies. You ready?
Yes.
There are so many cars here. Be very, very quiet. It's wasp hunting season.
Yeah, he hasn't came out yet, so.
So I'm editing the video right now, and I just realized I never actually explained what's about to happen in this next clip. When we were pulling stuff off the top of the cabinets, a bunch of really nice vases, we found a piggy bank full of money. Now, because this is in a trust, we cannot, normally when we find money, we will just keep the money and add it to the consignor's check. So if we found $100 in the house, I'm just going to deposit the $100, and then we'll add $100 to the consignor's check when we pay out. That way we're not just giving cash. Now, this is in a trust, so it needs to be run a little bit differently. All of the money needs to be accounted for, and they've got forms to fill out and everything. So we had to turn over the cash to the bank. Thankfully, the bank was there when we found it. We could not get it out of this piggy bank. There's just a little hole in the bottom, and there were a lot of bills in it, which made it difficult to, pull it out. So since the piggy bank really didn't have any value, we just decided to, well, you'll see. All right, little piggy. Should have had safety glasses on for that. Close your eyes. So I can finally start filming in this house. The bank's been here all day working. But the first thing, we're waiting for them to leave, because we both have to go to the bathroom so bad. Ooh, well, look at what we got here. Is this Griswold? No, but still cool. I think this is Griswold. Oh, whoops. No, this is Wagnerware. All right, so the client left, so that means we can start doing YouTube stuff. We're starting in here at the garage. Look at this big well pump. That was out here. I brought it in so it doesn't get stolen. There's a lot of these shelves throughout the house, merchandisers from, probably gas stations, but Slice, you don't see those too often. We got Pepsi. That's a Pepsi cooler. And then kind of like a Pelican case, but a different brand. The garage is obviously done. This thing, we got to get a mechanic out here. I couldn't get it started. I'm not going to mess around with it. The client said they'll just bring someone out. This is a 2023 model Jeep. It only has 6,000 miles on it. It's practically new. Now, there are a couple of issues. I'm told there are a couple of dents on the back, which I don't see, but there is that. But other than that, the thing's got 6,000 miles. It's a 2023. This will go for some decent money. I'm gonna grab the VIN off of it before we leave so I can blue book it. And then back here, this is a 2013 Ram, 3,500 maybe? 2,500. It has less than 3,000 miles on it. This thing is 12 years old. I think he bought it brand new just to plow snow in his driveway, and that's it. Basically a brand new truck. A little bit of damage here and there. We got a panel saw. So that goes into the house, but we're gonna be taking a different route in the house. This is such a cool house. Wait till you see it. Door locks automatically, apparently. So we come in through the garage, we get this big kitchen, massive kitchen that has an oven, another oven, a sink, another sink. It's such a weird house. We pulled all these from up there. One of them had a bunch of money in it, which we decided it wasn't really worth anything. It was newer, so we just smashed it to get the money out, and the client took that. Some odds and ends throughout here. And then we've got living room A. Looks like some receivers in here. We've got an adjustable bed. These are cool. There's a whole set of these throughout the house that look like an old ice box. So some furniture in here. Photography light right here. This looks like a pretty nice one. And then some decorative items in here. I got excited about this because I thought it might be uranium glass. It's just acrylic. It's not even glass. From there, we've got this room, which is an office. There's a safe. We do have the combination to that and the keys. You never know what else we're gonna find in here. And we are not selling any of this because they need to keep the security cameras set up, which is kind of nice that there are cameras here. The desk will go, so we'll just need to set this down on the floor under the desk. But, you know, nice, decent quality furniture in here. Some cheaper office furniture. Should do all right with this room. Continuing on. So we're gonna go right upstairs here. There are 2 upstairses in this house. That's right, 2, not 3 floors, 2 different upstairses. So up here, there's another one of those cabinets that looks like kind of an ice box. Whirlpool tub, there's another cabinet matching the set. So this is the bedroom. I believe this was like the master bedroom, just completely open to the living room and kitchen, which is interesting. They seemed like they were probably pretty open people, if you catch my drift. You'll notice later on in the video what I mean. This bathroom is huge. We got a bidet here, which is very far from the toilet. Imagine doing your business there and having to waddle all the way across here. That's an odd choice, but the bathroom here is massive. So that is upstairs number 1. Kind of neat, like homemade, decent quality gate here if you have pets or children so they can't get upstairs. Continuing back here, oh, there's more out here. We've got a closet, and then we've got the front porch. And then this is where we found the cast iron things a minute ago. Now, back in through here, we've got another room. This one's more set up like a living room. TV stand, some furniture, a lot of frames. There were photos in all of these frames. We will talk about what kind of photos were in these frames and why the bank needed to remove all of the photos and destroy them. But we are selling the frames. And then just a massive closet back here. It goes all the way down. It's huge. So that is this room. Now it seems like we're done with the main floor. We're not going to the basement yet because there's another wing over here. here where we've got another refrigerator, which I need to find out if we're selling that. We're not selling anything in there, but all the other appliances we are. Another sink, laundry related stuff, but no laundry appliances. We got another bathroom in here. We've got so much more down here. So coming this way, we got a closet. We've got a room, there's some shop carts and cleaning station, stuff like that. And then another 3 Seasons room with some stuff, snowblower and whatnot. I don't even know where this goes. This house is like a maze. Now we're continuing back into here. This is the best part of this house, the coolest part of this house. This is a waterfall. It is not foam, this is all concrete. Huge boulders in here. The water comes off of there. There is a waterfall in the house, and as you can see, the photography lights in here, starting to get a little bit of an idea of what kind of photography was taking place here. You got another TV here on a cart. This goes nowhere, I believe. Yeah, just this little rickety, it's kind of leaning off. So that goes nowhere. We won't be able to use that.
Whatever you do not look in the drawer in the bathroom.
Oh boy. So we've got some decent books in here. And then we've got one of the many laundry rooms in this house. Bloody clothing. So washer and dryer is being sold. So it's an interesting room. There were pictures all over the place, so you can imagine. There's a backwards clock up there. A giant shower in here. Look at the size of the shower. It is huge. Don't know if I want to look in here. Let's do it off camera. That's fine. It's just a whole bunch of soap. What about the other drawer? I just realized as I was closing it, there is something gross in there, so I'm going to edit that last little bit out. So I know what you're thinking. This has to be it for the main floor, but there's not. There is more through here. So let's go this way. We've got another bathroom. We've got a very large room here. Got a fireplace, a random sink, some storage there, countertops. This is a sliding glass door that goes to nothing. You cannot get to that at all.
Hey, John.
Mitch is hiding in the weird little alcove back here.
Why it exists, we have no idea.
Probably for attic access. But fireplace here. And then we're gonna keep going. Oh, I didn't realize it's got an old drop ceiling in this part of the house. So we've got another office in here with all sorts of different office stuff. No clue what we're gonna find in here. This goes outside. This goes, to give you an idea of where we are, this is the garage. This is back by the snowplow, so we went into the house over there originally. We've got stairs going up and down. Now remember how I said there was 2 upstairses? Well, let's go to the second upstairs. That is gonna be this way. And this is a mother-in-law's suite, but I don't know if his mother-in-law was actually in here because there's photography lights next to the hot tub in the bedroom. But kind of a neat little setup here. Here you can get a view of the side of the house. Some nice furniture in here. Another one of this style furniture. And this mother-in-law suite comes complete with its own little kitchenette and a bathroom. So, oh, there's a lot of cabinets in there. Shower here. So basically, it's like an apartment in here. So that is the site, and these 2 upstairs don't connect. So now we can go into one of the 2 routes in the basement. This is one of them. So we will go this way. This is like the back stairs of the basement. So we will walk down here, and we've got 2 ways we can go. Let's start with this direction, this room, and we're kind of doing this together because I don't remember where any of this stuff is. It's just like a storage room here. Not a whole lot. There was some gun stuff in here. All the gun stuff had to be removed from the house. But there's a photo enlarger here, and you never know what else we're gonna find. It was part of the will or trust that anything firearm related went to somebody in the family. So that's why that is all being removed. Based on the number of nails in this wall, you can imagine how many pictures of a certain kind we're hanging up in here. So now we'll go in here. We've got another office, but now we're starting to get to some of the camera stuff. We got a Nikon, what is this? A Nikon F5 here, some lenses, more lenses and flashes, all sorts of different stuff through here. A whole bunch of empty boxes for decent cameras. Oh, that's for a light. This camera we've already found. It's in the other building, so we'll have the box for that. But then there's just all sorts of stuff all over the place through here. But so this is what, office number 4, if I'm doing my math right. And then we've got more over here. Now this is gonna be a good room. He made the frames for all of his photos too. So this is just kind of a storage area with stuff for making the frames. But in this room, we've got a huge cabinet saw. We've got a scroll saw, bench grinder. We got a drill press here, some palm sanders and other things there. And then this hose goes to the big dust collection thing. So this room, there's some value in here. I would assume this saw will go for $1,000, maybe $1,500. I'm not super familiar with the brand, but it's all matching. It's all this Powermatic. So it's probably, someone's gonna go get a little too excited on this. That's probably $500-600. That's probably $150-250. And then this, continuing on, there's a router down here. It's not a fancy one. And then just material that would have been used to make the stuff. Continuing on, so these are the stairs that we came down. So this is my favorite room in the house right here. So this is a dark room. He's got his own dark room. And those are empty. However, we've got a whole bunch of cameras and lenses in here, all film. There's some serious money on this counter right here. We've got chemicals and a huge enlarger. I think this whole cabinet is part of it. This thing is massive. I don't know if this is gonna sell for a lot, but I don't even know. We'll probably have extra parts for it that we can't even find that'll go in other lots. No clue. But a whole bunch of darkroom equipment. And then the other part of the dark room, it is very dark in this room, is down here where we've got another enlarger. That's why they call it a dark room, because the bulb is out. And who knows what we're gonna find in these cabinets. All sorts of different stuff. So this is really neat. What'd you find?
Another camera box. It's empty, but
FM2, I saw that. I think it was during this video somewhere.
here's an F3.
It might have been in that other room that we were just in. So, continuing on, I know this house never ends. So it seems like this is it, right? Nope. We've got a room with no light switches. One moment. Mitch said this is like the Winchester house, and it really is. Like, there's no light switches on this end of the room. You have to go all the way down there. So we've got another washer and dryer set. I believe that's the third we've found. All the CDs you could ever want here, and these drawers are also full of CDs. So any audiophiles will get really excited here. We've got a mixing board, more equipment there. Who knows what else we'll find in here. Shelving and stuff in here. We got all these projector slide reels. It's a little bit of a bummer. These were all photography courses, but the bank was worried that there would have been personal pictures mixed in, so they just dumped them all in the trash. So we'll at least be able to sell the projector carousels. Now we walked past a couple of rooms. In this room, doesn't really have much. Just a little utility closet. And this room is another bathroom. And then this room is another workshop. There's the light switch. So we got another workshop here. We got a heat press, some frames that he must have been working on. Don't think there's anything in there. A couple of odds and ends in here. Whatever that is, it's heavy. So all sorts of different stuff in here, and then another little utility closet. So you might be thinking, surely we have to be done with this house by now. There can't be more house. A house can only be so big. Well, please don't call me Shirley. There is more. Light switch right here. So these stairs go back up. These are not the ones we came down. There are so many movies in here. We had Ben here this morning. He sorted them out into lots. There's a ton of anime in here. This should do really well. We've got this Mitch found hiding behind the movies. Super Nintendo Mountain Dew box from 1991, and there are 2 of them.
Do you think we're gonna win the Super Nintendo?
Maybe.
We might.
You should send it in with your name on it, see if you get it. And then behind them, I'm guessing these are all going to be empty boxes. It's interesting. This is a box for blank tapes, I think. I think he just used those so the movies wouldn't push in all the way. Now we've got more rooms down here, by the way. We're not done yet. We've got this room where the light switch is. There we go. This was the gun room. Where he made his ammunition and did all of his gun stuff. All of that is gone, but we've got tons of shelving throughout here that will get sold. This matches the CD cabinets. Looks like they are emptied, but it's the same as the CD cabinets in the other room. More shelving here. Crystal Pepsi, which is really cool. And some other odds and ends in here. So coming up the stairs from the movie room gets us back in the kitchen. Now I know what you're thinking. Certainly, that must be the whole place, right? Wrong, there's still more. So, we've got this building next. Oh, I gotta make this quick, it's starting to rain. This is such a big property. And there are like ATV trails in the back. It's over 30 acres. So in here, chop saw, more of these shelves, outdoor tools, wood, stuff like that. We got a nice big fiberglass ladder. There's a trailer back here, tucked away. This will probably be $500-600. We've got lawn sweeper, big water tank. This is cool, Green Bay Camera Club. Whatever that is. A big cast iron clawfoot tub. And now I've been up here once. When we first came here, I refused to go up there because there were a ton of wasp nests up here. Look at that. There are so many of them. I'm still nervous going up here, but I was just up here this morning. It really reeks of garbage up here. I don't know if that's the smell of the wasp nests, but there's not much up here. A few odds and ends. Some bins, another slice display rack, a Pepsi one, a Crystal Pepsi shelf, a few odds and ends up here. Now seriously, Rabbit, this has to be it right there. Cannot possibly be any more. But there is. In fact, there's more just in this building. I did not show you what's in this room. So let's take a walk in here and you can see the Grizzly commercial lawnmower. And this will probably go for some decent money. Then we got a push mower, a weird one. Can't say I've seen that before. And then some other odds and ends, a bunch of shelving units. There's a ton of empty ammo boxes. Unfortunately, they are all empty. Now I know what you're thinking. Rabbit, you gotta be through it all. There cannot possibly be more. Well, this is probably a 5,000 square foot building. Unfortunately, I don't have a key to it. They're gonna get me a key tomorrow. So you'll have to see when we come back what is in there. But that is a spicy room. Seriously, that will answer a lot of the questions that I've been hinting towards on the purpose of all the photos on the wall and the bathtubs and the photo lights. Now this whole 30-something acre property is completely fenced in, but then there are inner portions. The fence goes around here to kind of fence in the house and this building as well as an outer fence for the whole property. This is like a vestibule fence because this was a dog park. They did dog training here. And I'm not gonna walk too far in here just because of time, but you can see there's all these trails that you can ride on that go through this whole property. And there's something back here that I'm gonna show you. That there is one thing back here that we're selling. This is, I would love to live on a property like this. I'd be walking these trails all the time. It's a little creepy because we've got a lot of this from crematoriums, pets who were buried here or had their ashes scattered. But the other thing we are going to be selling is this giant windmill. That should be interesting. The person can drive right here, so it won't be too hard to get, but it won't be easy. But the property is like super clean. Like there isn't just a bunch of trash in the woods like this. And this bit with these trails, it goes on a pretty long way. And then when we come up here and continue to the left here, there's another fenced in gated area that has more trails through the woods. Now I'm told there's some family who lives next door who I'm told there has been some drama. So that should make things interesting. I mentioned, remember, everything, the proceeds of this multi-million dollar property, all the stuff we're selling, it's all going to charity. Can't say which charity, but to a charity. And we're back over here, and in here is the foundation of an old barn. So I'm told. I guess there used to be a barn right here as well. I'm guessing it came down a long time ago though. Mitch is gonna buy this CD.
Music to strip by and other revealing ditties to keep your shirt on band, featuring songs like The Stripper, Without a Sarong, and Take It Off Polka.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing camera stuff up. We got this one. This is about a $500 camera. I haven't looked this one up. I'm not familiar with that one, but it's got a battery grip. We've got a lens that came with this. It is 3556. It doesn't, I don't think it's a super special lens, maybe 50 bucks. Some other accessories. These are empty. I'm pretty certain this is the one that's out in the studio. There's another camera.
This is the D7500.
Oh, nice. So there's another camera. We got another flash in here. So we got that. Two flat, no, that's the charger. This is the D700. So this is, I think this is the one that's in the studio. We got a case here, but the exciting part, oh, we got this too. This is a serious zoom lens. But the exciting part is down here. Now I found this, I'd never heard of this brand, Hasselblad. The camera body, which is just this part, is going for about 1,500 bucks used on eBay, 1,600. We've got a lens, we've got a second lens. I believe this, something to do with the film, and then some other accessories here. I mean, even this handle, this grip is the same brand. So I would, shot in the dark guess, without looking up the lenses, without looking up any of the other accessories, I wouldn't be shocked if we've got $3,000-4,000 right in this case. Mitch got excited. What do we got here?
These are DeGallo pewter figurines. Now, most pewter items in today's world don't really have a lot of value. However, these are fantasy pieces that were made in the late 80s, 90s. And a lot of people use these in their Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. So they have a little bit of collectability.
Are these pewter too, the gold ones?
Those are not, no.
So what are they worth?
It's hard to say, but we'll put them on their own and see what happens.
I just realized this is the camera that was over there. This is the box for it, D7500. We've actually got two D7500s worth about 500 bucks a piece. So we got a bunch of empty Fujifilm boxes. I looked this one up, and this is like a $2,000 camera, so I really hope we find these in the house. I'm in the dark room. Look at this. This is another Hasselblad, another camera, really high dollar brand. I don't see any of the Fujifilm stuff down here though. No luck on this stuff unless it's in the studio, but I don't recall seeing anything out in there. But I brought up a lot of the camera stuff. There is still a lot more cameras and lenses downstairs. We got a lot of it up here. I mean, even like this little Nikon viewfinder, this is about 200 to 250 bucks. There's so much value in these cameras. Holy cow, these tapes here, these Denon, these are hundreds, these are 90s. This box here should go for about 200 bucks. This box, I would imagine, would probably be pretty comparable. We've got more here. There's just so much money in this house. Bose speakers. To be completely honest, this is gonna be a massive auction, and I wouldn't be shocked if this breaks 100 grand. So that's it for day 1 of 3. We will be back here Thursday. We can't come back here tomorrow because we're doing auction pickup at the warehouse. We only got 70 lots done. We did the garage and the kitchen, basically. Not even bringing a lot of stuff in the kitchen, just what was already there. So not too thrilled about that, but we did spend most of the morning doing the walkthrough with the client, so that took up a lot of time. Hopefully things pick up because, like I said, this needs to be done. 3 days of work. So I'm in a predicament. There is no exit of this garage. You have to either go through the house or through the big doors, and they wanted these unplugged. So I think if I have that one just manually open that door, I'm not gonna be able to close it from the outside. I think I can close this one from the outside. Let's find out. Perfect, just like me. So it is day 2. I'm back. Mitch won't be here for another half hour, so I'm gonna get started. I had to meet a property manager here because we needed to, the neighbor has been coming onto the property through the middle area with all those ATV trails and stuff, was shared between them, even though it's part of this property. And the bank said he can't use that anymore, and he's still been using it. So we had to go out and put locks on it. And that's the property management company I was here for. Because we locked that up, I went and took pictures of the windmill, and I saw a whole herd of deer run past. It was really cool. We are leaving one area open so the deer can still get out of that area, but it will prevent the neighbor from coming through. Where the only way he can come through now, or anyone can come through, is up the driveway where there's a camera pointed. So I'm gonna work on this, but first I think I can show you that other building now. So we get this unassuming building right behind the house here. So there isn't a whole lot in here, a few odds and ends, but oh, we got this bobcat. I had to do an appraisal for the bank about 6 months ago, and we did not start it or get the miles on it. But this is, if I remember right, a 2019 model year. And if it's anything like the vehicles, there's probably 0 hours on it. So it actually started right up. We've got a battery tender on it, which I'll just unplug there. I have to be careful backing up so I don't hit this. And we're right up on the wall here. This is gonna be tight. 103 hours. This thing is brand new. Well, it took a while to figure out how to get this thing working, and then I accidentally took the door off because I thought those handles were to open it. And in the process, I lost a part that looks like this. It needs to go in here to attach the bottom hinge. So, looking for that at the moment. Found it. Door is fully reattached, by the way. Unplugging that and undoing that was not an accident. When I realized the door was disconnected, I couldn't get it back on. I did that so they didn't break if it came down. Still can't figure out how to lift the bucket. Apparently the foot pedals do it, but there's some sort of lockout on it, so I'll have to figure that out later. But we've got more building to go through. That's gonna be this building. Now I'll give you a quick warning. There are going to be some things in there that aren't super family friendly. I will do my best to not show them, but if you got kids in the room, they want to cover their eyes. So this is a huge photography studio, and it looks super innocent at first until you look a little bit deeper. For starters, these are some of the adult themed photos that we're hanging up. You can see how many of them there are. The bank is taking those. We've got a whole bunch of costumes here, mostly lingerie. Now you're starting to get an idea of what's going on here. Over here, we've got wigs. All sorts of different wigs. My favorite's the Ronald McDonald. We've got wrapped presents. These are just boxes. They're props. Guitar. Several of these carts. There were a couple in the house too. Over here, this is like a display where you'd have pictures on display. Any photographer would want that. Over here, we've got shoes. Lots of shoes, and this file cabinet is full of like fishnets, stockings, things like that. There is a bathroom in here no, it does not have a shower. Just a half bath, basically. I have no idea what's in here. More pantyhose, bags, all sorts of different stuff. My favorite part is the candy in the microwave for some reason. We need to go through here and see if we can find any cameras. There is a charger here, and I did see, I think 2 cameras, but we're hoping those Fujifilm ones are in here somewhere. We got a set here, like a living room. We got a kitchen set. Something tells me nobody's ever actually eaten food on that table. Photography lights. I'm not going to show the other side of this because there's a bunch of silicone, electric, adult things, but there's also an iron and a phone. We've got a bed here, more photography, lights and stuff. This I think we'll just rip down and throw out. No one's gonna buy plastic. Over here we've got another area, and there's a laptop here with a hard drive, so we're gonna need to clear those off, possibly remove the hard drive from the laptop. Another setup over here with some furniture, several photography lights. We got another guitar here. Here's a camera. This is like 80 bucks at Sam's right now. We've got a dog kennel and a trunk with a whole bunch of ropes to tie, let's just say cargo, off on. There's another camera here. This is D700. The other ones were 7500 that we found so far. We've got another backdrop here. This one looks pretty innocent, but I've seen the photos. It was not used for innocent things. Whole bunch more lights back here. Another backdrop. So I'm gonna start digging through cabinets and drawers in here. We've got 2 cameras so far, but I'm really hoping to find that Fujifilm setup. Here you got a chainsaw, a head, fog machine. Oh, I wonder what's in here. Basically, you want to wear, all right, nothing special in there. You want to wear gloves whenever you're in here, despite the fact that I'm not. We got a bunch of tables here, some speakers, so all sorts of different stuff through here. This rug is giant. That should do decent for someone who needs a very large rug. It's a nice shop. You know, it's comfortable in here. I don't know if it's air conditioned. It's definitely heated. We got like this backdrop that can go. All sorts of different stuff. So the Samsung tablet did not have a password on it, so that means we can reset it and sell it. Never mind, you need a password to reset it, so we have to turn it in. Yeah. So I was going to bid on this storage unit. It's got a ton of comic books. It's got a safe. And it's got, you know, nerd stuff. I think this would have been a really fun one to go through. It was at like 600 bucks last night, but now it's at 3,500, so I'm not gonna bid on this one. But we've got all of this camera stuff done. There's a lot of cameras and lenses. These things are like 400 bucks on eBay. I only found 3 of them. All sorts of different stuff. So we're gonna look for high dollar smalls to fill out these last 2 counters and then continue on with big stuff. So I'm resetting this laptop, and I think the mouse, no, laptop just died, and it is plugged in. So anyways, per our terms, we need to, reset these, or if we can't reset them, pull the hard drive out. There are a lot of naked pictures on here. There's a folder called models and one called wannabes, and they are sorted like each person's name. Stuff that I don't know the circumstance here, but if they hired him to take the pictures, like just for their own like boudoir shots, they're probably not gonna want those out. So it's a good thing we're going through and deleting stuff. Okay, now it's charging. For some reason, it wasn't charging before. It was plugged in and it had the little plug on there, but it wasn't showing that it was charging. So to reset a PC, you look up recovery settings, and in here, there's reset this PC. You want remove everything in this particular case. It's gonna remove apps and files. What do you mean do not clean the drive? We wanna change that. Clean the drive. This may take hours, but will make it harder to recover. That's what we want. There we go. Now now it says it won't take long. So, and then we just go through and reset it. Interestingly, before it had to activate Windows here, and when it died and I turned it back on, that was gone. I'm thinking about bidding on this laptop because it seems like a pretty nice one. Oh, yeah, it has a touch screen. I don't like touch screens, but I need a new laptop. Mine is, I don't know, probably pushing 10 years old, and it still works fine, but apparently I learned this on the Vegas trip. If you remember, I couldn't connect to the Wi-Fi. It's because there are two different bandwidths of Wi-Fi, and my computer will only be able to pick up one of those bandwidths. It also only has a 100 gig hard drive, which I know I can upgrade that, but I spent like $400 on it a decade ago. I think we can probably get rid of it and get a new one. So we found this full of sterling wire for jewelry. I think, and this one's gold filled. I think there's gonna be some money here. I did open the safe. There's nothing in it. This tray is empty too, but it's still a decent safe, and it's got the combination. So you need the combination and the key to open it, which kind of seems to defeat the purpose of a combination. So kitchen is done. All of this camera equipment. We're saving the boxes until the end in case we happen to find the cameras. We've also got a stack of manuals here that'll be pairing with these as we find them. We are not doing that yet. We're going this way. So we continued on through here, a couple of pieces of furniture. I took the bedding off here and look at this. It's Tempur-Pedic cooling adjustable bed. It looks pretty new. I don't know if he passed away on this. We're not gonna tell anybody that it had a bunch of nasty bedding on it. I guess the bedding wasn't that nasty, but it was used. It grossed me out. But this should do well. We brought in one of these tables from the other room because it matches. And then we got this room done. Nothing too special in here. A little bit of shelving. You ever just feel like you're being watched?
Oh, I can smell your toes.
Oh?
I smell your toes.
I'm calling the police. So we're upstairs combining closets together because a lot of the closets just don't have a lot. So we're just gonna have 2 closets. We're putting all the clothes in here.
Comment on John's video if you are a true fan.
That's Mitch's only fan.
Ah.
There's his other one. This is all full of old underwear. The guy had this full of nothing but underwear. But we did find some from 2006. Still factory sealed. They're worth about 40 bucks online. A whole bunch of these new wool socks. That'll be lotted together. Once we sell these speakers, this is gonna be a fall hazard for children. We found some more ammo. All firearm stuff needs to be turned over. Part of the will was firearm related, goes to someone, I'm not sure who. Emptied these 2 out, so we'll just do this closet lot. And then probably whatever's on here, and that's gonna be about it for this bathroom. All right, the first upstairs is done. There wasn't a lot up here, but a few things. This bed is actually fairly new. It's made in 2021. The mattress, at least, the box isn't as new, but we're done on the first upstairs. It is almost 6 o'clock, so we're gonna call it a day, but we got this room done, which completes this entire wing of the house. Tomorrow, we'll get started on that wing. Nothing too special in here. This TV stand will not sell. It's a poor design, and also the hinge on that is broken. We got a decent Sony TV, picture frames, stuff like that. That couch is in nice shape. This one's got some rips and tears. And then we're pretty much doing this closet. All of these linens will be one lot, and then that's a lot. We are all locked up. We're 270 something lots. We'll be back tomorrow. The hope was to get this whole thing done tomorrow. I don't see that happening. We'll finish the main floor, hopefully get all the way through the basement, and then we'll just have these 2 other buildings to do. Try and get it done Monday, because normally the auction goes up on Tuesday, but the client wants to preview the auction before bidding is open, meaning we need to get it up with no bidding on Monday so they can preview it. All right, we are back for day 3. I got his phone. The bank reset it and gave it to me. How they got that, I'm not sure, but vehicles are both running. They both have brand new batteries, so we'll get pictures of these today. All right, we got some sunlight, so we got pictures and videos of the truck. I want to show you the picture of the truck because we got this in the background. It looks so nice. How cool is this picture? So, starting the garage, all of this was done yesterday. So we came and did stuff in here. All the books we brought in here, lotted them up. Then we move on over here. Couple lots in here. Couple lots in here. Not a whole lot. Contents of closet. And then we move on into here where there's a whole bunch of stuff. We emptied out this room, put it in the closet since there wasn't much in here, and then we're just doing the washer and dryer. All of the big stuff in here, some media equipment, and then we just got like a contents room here. I keep calling this the bathroom. There's no toilet in here. It's just the world's largest shower. This thing is huge. And then a sink, a closet area. So we got all of that done. These chairs were in there. I pulled them out because they can go on their own. And then continuing on in here, contents of bathroom, there isn't much in there. And then a handful of lots in this room. And that's kind of where we're leaving it. We're gonna go to lunch now. We sorted out this office, so this should go pretty quick. And then we just have to go upstairs to that little mother-in-law suite, and we are done with the main floor. We got this office done. Nothing super special, but we did find a pair of these scissors. I just sold one of these for 40 bucks on eBay, and it was a rural squirrel who pointed out that brand. The one that I sold were pinking shears, so they had like jagged edges, so they were a little different, but same brand. Almost done. We have to go to the second upstairs first. So we are upstairs in the mother-in-law suite. We emptied out all the cabinets. I did separate this because this is old. It's not gonna sell. But this will sell, and if we put them together, it still won't sell, so at least something will go. In the kitchen here, we're just kind of sorting everything into cabinets. All the linens we found, we put in here, and we're just about finished up with the main and second floor of the house. All right, main floor, second floor, other second floor done. It is finally time to make our way to the basement. So we got this room done, only had a few lots, but in here we found a drawer that the bank didn't know about, where there are some old coins, some Indian heads, steel pennies. What else do you find in here?
Little partial silver Hong Kong dollar. There's a 1909 Indian cent. That was the year that they stopped making them. And that one is roughly about a $12 coin in that condition.
Also found this badge, which is cool. And we also found the guy's social security card, which we turned over to the bank. Unfortunately, we can't sell the coins. They need to send those off to an appraiser to look at before they can be sold. What they'll do with them afterwards, I mean, there's not a lot of money worth there.
But if we can sell them, you should buy them. Either way, they'll be a steal.
So the bank said they just want a written appraisal of these coins from us, so we'll send them an itemized list of what there are with values, and then she said we're good to sell them. So I don't know why they need it. It might be something because any money found in the house needs to be pulled and deposited. We are even required, if we find like a penny in a desk drawer, we can't just leave it in the drawer like we usually do. All the change needs to be collected. It needs to be written up with their paperwork and deposited. So we get like 60 cents here. They did let us sell this Monopoly money here, Canadian money, because it's $6 Canadian, and it would cost them $15 to transfer it to USD. So she brought that back for us. It was in the piggy bank we smashed. But other than that, we have to account for all of the coin and cash we find. I had a Pepsi with lunch, and I don't do caffeine, so I'm kind of wired right now. And I keep singing the hot dog song. You know which one I'm talking about. Hottdog.
That's not how you spell the word.
It's exactly how you spell the word. The T is short for diggity.
Oh, that makes it worse.
Hot diggity dog. This thing's kind of cool. It's a little die grinder, but it's flexible, so you can grind wherever you need to be. You can even give yourself the worst colonoscopy ever.
This wasn't a part of my contract when I signed up to work for you.
That's why you will be giving it to yourself, and I will be in the other room.
Well, in that case, let me grab it.
Okay, we're going to the other room. All right, so we finished with 221 lots. Today, we're just shy of 500 total. This is gonna be a massive auction. So, I think I showed you that. We did this room. Yeah, I showed you that because we were in the desk. We did this mostly just like this entire wall is one lot. This is all one lot. That's one lot. It's funny because anything firearm related has to be turned over. It's part of the will. But here are some 22 caliber bullets that we can sell because they're not actual bullets. They're for this powder actuated nailer. Over here, the big tools, I'm really excited to see what this goes for. So we got this room all done. Again, just, wall of wood, clamps. We kind of rushed through this because it's nothing special. Here's the thing, we can only do so many lots before it becomes too much. There is so much value in this house, and we're already over 500 lots. We still have half the basement to do, plus 2 more buildings. I really don't want this to go over 700 lots. In fact, the file that I have that makes these only goes to 700, and I don't know how to make it. A former employee made that file, so I don't want to mess around with that. But anyways, it also gets to be too much. It's going to run too late at night. It's going to be too long. People are going to get fatigued and not want to keep going through it. So although we could have done, instead of this whole thing as one lot, we could have done these sanders as a lot, maybe the hand tools as a lot, the clamps as a lot, the shelf as a lot. It would make an extra, maybe 20 bucks, but it would be 5-6 extra lots, which that's just this. You do this whole house, and we would turn this into like a 3,000 lot auction, which would end up hurting us more than helping us. So we're doing some bigger lots and stuff like this. Of course, things like the scroll saw are gonna go on their own. So after we did all of this, we got labels for these. We got a label going here. Now, because there's another stairwell in this basement over there, I'm gonna need to do the same labels, but in reverse. So like this one points this way for the stairs. I'm probably gonna wanna put another one up here pointing that way. That way people can hit it from both directions. Dark room, we did the dark room. Neither of us are super knowledgeable on dark room stuff, so most of the stuff in the cabinets, we just did like this whole bank of cabinets. I can't imagine the chemicals and jars are super valuable. They might even have a shelf life. I have no idea. So we did this whole bank of cabinets as a lot, this whole bank as a lot, and this whole bank as a lot. I'm sure people are gonna get upset because there's gonna be like one random part that's supposed to go to this enlarger. Speaking of which, this enlarger, I looked it up. It seems like, this might not even be part of it. I'm not sure. It seems like this is going for about 900 bucks, not including everything else. As far as the cabinet, it seems like this comes off. Basically, the 3 shelves will come off, and then they have 2 side cabinets. And of course, all the accessories, we're including this with it, and they'll just have to lug it out. We noted that it's in the basement. I don't think we ever listed this dark room light. It's not very bright because you don't want it to be bright, but we'll just let whoever got that get it. I don't think those are gonna be super expensive. In here, We did, you can see I marked the lots going here and there. Kind of the same thing. Most of the stuff on the counter we moved down there. I've sold these a whole bunch of times, but never with this little pill. So what this is, it's not plugged in. Here, let's plug it in. It's for mixing liquids. See how it does that? See, there's a little magnet in here that spins, and that's what this does. So that stirs. Now the reason you want that is, let's see if I've got something here. Thought I saw. Here we go. And so you want to mix what's in here. There you go. Now it mixes it in whatever jar you happen to have. But this is always missing. Every time I've sold it, it's just been the base, and usually I get like 50 bucks for it. So with that, and you can go at different speeds. You make it go really fast or slow. But anyways, having that obviously increases the value of it. This DVD player also, it looks cheap to me, but I looked at the back. Look at all of this. So this is for like decent stereo equipment. So we put this on its own. We got another enlarger over here. Don't think this even opens up. So I don't know what this cabinet is even supposed to be. If part of it's inside, I can't imagine it would be. That lifts up. So I'll be surprised for whoever buys it. And that is it for this wing of the basement. Now we're gonna come over here on Monday. We have so much to do on Monday, and we absolutely must get it done Monday. Because like I said, the bank wants to preview it. So in order to have it open for bidding on Tuesday, which would make it a 7-day auction, we need to have it uploaded Monday before the end of the day. So I think what we're gonna do in here, CDs don't go for a lot. We're probably just gonna do all of this media as one lot. We'll take these cartridges out and put them with the CD players there. We'll dig through here. We already pulled a lot of stuff out of here and did it upstairs, but we'll dig through just to see if there's anything else in there. And then these will sell by the drawer. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 cabinets here that will sell. Oh, that's right, we got another shop room here, but I don't think there's a lot in here. Should get through this room pretty quick. What is in here? A lot of picture frames. So this room is gonna be like 10 lots. So, oh, I did figure out these fit my furnace, and I spend like 50, 100 bucks, something like that on each one of these. I replace it once a year. I bet this box ends up selling for like 40 bucks. So I will probably be buying it. I'm picturing maybe by lunchtime on Monday, noonish. Then we go and get lunch. We're back by about 1 o'clock. We are not gonna have much time to get the other 2 buildings done. I'm a little nervous that whether or not we're gonna get this place done in time. We also found 3 brand new sump pumps. Those I bet will go for 100 bucks each. And we had 2 here that they're used. I don't know why you'd save them if they were junk. So I don't know if he's just cycling them through every so often, replaces it. Oh, interesting thing about the car that we found. The lady from the bank took it to get washed. That was complicated on its own. So an issue, they cannot pay for things out of their own pocket. They cannot get reimbursed from the trust for it. And they don't have like a card that they can use, which is weird. So the only way they can pay for things is if they get invoiced for it and can pay it, send a check from the trust, which complicates things. And washing this, it's not like they can just get an invoice mailed to them for a car wash. However, we can reimburse them for it, which is weird. But anyway, so basically I gave her a 20. She went and got a wash, brought me the receipt, the change, and then we're deducting the cost of the car wash from the balance of the auction, which works out because the car looks better. It'll sell better if it's washed. So anyway, she got it washed and she noticed water leaked in. There's a bunch of water that leaked in here after the wash. And then she noticed, watch this when I close this. See that? So that doesn't close all the way on the top. My guess is somebody locked themselves out and they used a wedge or something to pull that open. And you can see as much there, or maybe someone tried to break in, but I don't know. Like the door is bent. I don't know if this is something that someone can fix or if they need a whole new door. It very likely will be $1,000 or $2,000 repair. Not much we can do about it. We're just selling it as is. We'll disclose it, take good pictures showing the defect, and it is what it is, basically. Man, I love that new car smell. I miss that because it's like your hair growing. You don't notice it growing until one day you notice your hair is super long. New car smell, you don't notice it going away until one day you get a new car and go, oh, my car doesn't smell like this anymore. Now I have to somehow unplug that with the car in here. I don't know how they plugged it in with the car in here. Mitchell. He forgot his soda here and his water. Oh, we figured out how this works the other day too. We even found the brochure. I'll show you that in a minute. But anyways, the water does not come out of there. It fills up down here, and then there's a recirculating pump that runs it up there. So it'd be weird to take a shower in here. But that's just a switch that turns the pump on. And then to run the water, there's an access panel right here for your hot and cold water. I'm not gonna do it again, but you can kind of see that little wet spot. It just kind of pours out through the bottom down there. And then I'm guessing that other pipe there is what connects to the pump, pulls it up there to create the waterfall. And we found pictures of people using this. They weren't fully clothed, so I can't show you them, but they'd fill it with bubble bath too, which is kind of neat. I just think it'd be cool to take a shower in this. But anyways, trying to shut off lights is very difficult in this house. Not only because I have to go through a very large house. I gotta close this. Here, check this out. All of the curtain rods in the house are like this. Angle iron welded to a right angle with gas pipe, and kind of tough to see, but it's just like shackle rings, D-rings up there holding it on. All of them are like that. And then that's interesting. It seems like looks wasn't a factor here, but I mean, you could probably do pull-ups on this thing. But anyways, a lot of times the light switches are only on one end of the room. So you have to go across the room to turn off the lights and then, walk back through the dark. But here's a brochure for the company that made the waterfall. And obviously you can tell this is mostly for commercial settings, like at a lodge style hotel or a Bass Pro Shops or something. Oh, there you go, Bass Pro Shops corporate headquarters. So I don't think they expect to do them just in someone's house very often. I mean, if you look at we've got a mall in Indiana, Bass Pro Shops, their headquarters. We've got whatever that is in Marietta. Flint, Michigan, Auto World. Oh, that's a mini golf place, Scottsdale. This is the Marietta, Georgia one. We've got Holiday Star Plaza Hotel in Maryville. I wonder if this still exists. Maryville is kind of between Chicago and Indianapolis. We've got Conservatory in Fort Wayne. And this is a Wisconsin company, apparently. Let's see, Embassy Suites in Deerfield, Illinois. Bradford Exchange in Niles, Illinois. Mill Pond Condominiums in Atlanta, Georgia. It's interesting, like this company is Cost of Wisconsin in Rockfield, Wisconsin. I don't know if they're still around, but if you live in any of those places, you should go check to see if any of those are still around. It seems like they did a really good job with it. All right, I need to get out of here. So we are back. We got this room sorted and organized, ready to start taking pictures, as well as this room back here, which will just leave us with 2 more rooms in this basement once we're done in here. We have to get it done today. So this room is officially done. We're bringing the DVD lots that Ben sorted in here to take pictures, and we are going to set them up on these shelves here. There are so many of them. right, so we are done with the basement. So we will guide customers down through here. We'll have 407 to 464 this way, itemized between those rooms, 465 to 448, and then organized in there. 499 to 657 in here. And we got some lots in there. Oh, I need to put one over this door yet. There we go. Also, all of the DVD lots are in there. So we come follow this in here. We've got stuff in here, and then this in here, which there's not really much to show in here. It's just cabinets and shelving units, but that Crystal Pepsi one's really cool. And there's a set of Bose speakers on the wall. Now, if we're coming from the other way, we're not gonna bring customers down these stairs. We'll be coming the way that I showed you because that follows the snake through the house. But as people are coming and go, they might come down here to grab their stuff after we've already showed them. So we got 407 to 623. And that brings you through here. That remains how it is. And then 407 to 498 is this way. You've got something pointing you in the two directions. And so that gets you through here. I've got this, also noting that it is in reverse. And the reason is because as we go through, we're gonna actually be going this way based on the order of the lots. Boy, it's dark in here. Oh, I forgot to bring the tape with me. And ultimately, we will end up at these stairs here. So that's where I'm gonna put this up. So we are doing the Jeep now. This is such a nice vehicle. I think this is gonna do really well. I would seriously consider buying this if I had any use for an SUV. I already have my truck there and I've got a car. I don't need an SUV. So now we gotta do this building and we gotta make it fast. It is already 2:46. We're definitely gonna have to come back tomorrow. So I got a bunch of ball hitches and stuff here.
Oh my God, John, I found my favorite tool.
What you got? Yes!
And you know what the best part is?
Please tell me there's a spoon to go with it.
There's one for you too.
Oh, we can eat our lunch. Oh, stab fight. This is how I want to eat my mac and cheese from now on. So we are on the back of the detached garage barn. There's a lot of trash inside there. He was just throwing his fluorescent tubes in there. But we found a skid steer bucket. So that'll probably be another $300-400 added to this auction. And that is the foundation to the original barn. So we're doing this sign for the Green Bay Camera Club, and that's the picture we took of it. But we're also gonna have this picture on the listing and that picture. So we're working on, we've been calling it the shed or the barn. It's just another garage. It's very possible this was built with the wood from the barn that was torn down. Well, we've got, this is gonna go high. I think this Crystal Pepsi display stand. Got another slice one, and just some odds and ends through here, a little bit of tools. We got a trailer, a nice little 4x8. That should do all right. Some more odds and ends through here. Ton of gas cans, some diesel cans. This cast iron clawfoot should do really well. Lawn sweeper, snow fence, some decorative items, irrigation stuff. I'm pretty sure this is part of a dog run, but I don't know if it's all there. But the reason I'm in the middle showing you this is because this is lot 706, and this is lot 707, which means after this lot, it is the largest auction we've ever done. And we still have to finish this building, and we've got a whole nother building to do. So we just finished this building. We're on the second floor, 743 lots so far. These water drums aren't actually water drums, they're Pepsi drums. Nothing super exciting up here. Slice and a Pepsi shelving unit. The rest of it's kind of junk, but some of it'll sell. Like this is a light for a dark room. It's brand new. Shutters. All right, we have that skid steer bucket behind this building, and then we can finally move on to the last building. Mitch gets the job of throwing away all the silicone adult electronic.
Why is it so heavy? It's attached.
Well, we don't want to see that on video. He's not having a good time. Or maybe he is. I don't know what he's into. What worries me is someone's going to buy this horse or some of these stuffed animals for their child, maybe not realizing how many naked people have been on them. Gotta find a way to do some sort of disclaimer on that. So we sorted everything in the studio here. So we'll just have to come back tomorrow. It's like, what, 6 o'clock? Yeah. We'll come back tomorrow, get pictures taken, hopefully be out of here by lunchtime. There's a lot of stuff in here. This is gonna be a very big auction. All right, we are back here to finish up. It's Tuesday. All right, it was a rush this morning, but we are all done. I don't remember if I showed you this yesterday when we were here. That's just a pile of trash. We were stacking all the garbage up here because the garbage can is full. We got the battery maintainer, a couple odds and ends in here. This is obviously the big keynote thing. But then as we come into here, so we start right over here. We carried this throughout the entire house as we were doing it, trying to find that last table. The 3 tables and the stand, those 4 pieces were in 4 different rooms, so we put some of them together. We've got the fridge, complete with a bunch of soda. Keurig, microwave, contents of cabinets. Cannot forget about this. Then we've got the contents of the bathroom here. There's some decent, new stuff in here. I think this will sell. And then contents of the utility room, which has vacuums and chairs and some tools and stuff. Those are all boxes for light bulbs. I can't tell. Some of them I think are full, some are empty, so I just didn't take a picture of it. Whoever gets this room, it'll be a bonus for them. And then we continue on along here. We've got pantyhose, some tools in the cabinet, all the shoes, all that pantyhose. This is different leggings that are sort of like, that's Halloween fishnets, thigh highs, garter belts, and body suits. And then we've got photography, lighting, accessories, umbrellas. And then we're just kind of going through along this side here with all of this stuff. Now, in one of the rooms in the house, there was one of these bar stools, and we had already listed it. So I deleted that lot so I could put it here with the set. Same thing with these chairs over here. We had one of them in that mother-in-law suite that was listed by itself, and one in an office that was listed with the bar stool. So I deleted those listings and put them down here so we've got a set. We will continue down over here. More just all of the big things. All sold individually. Some things like those chairs lotted up. A lot of this stuff, like these chairs, were scattered around the building. Stuffed animals. The pictures over here, I bet, turned out really well. Everything is being black like this. This probably turned out. He was a really good photographer. I've seen a lot of his pictures. It was all adult themed stuff, but it was really good quality. This thing is cool. I'll turn it on for you. This is actually at Sam's Club right now. He may have just bought it before he passed. Giant light up spider. We've got a clothes rack that has rope on it. I'll give you 3 guesses what that rope was for. The dog cage, and then this trunk full of rope. We just kind of snake through here. We got all these rugs. They're sheepskin or lambskin rugs. We've got backdrop here, lighting, a Schwinn exercise bike, light stands, lights, whole bunch of lights. We pulled a bunch of them out here so they're a little more spread out. Another backdrop here. And then we go through here. We did not list anything there. It's just plastic sheeting. Tables, speakers, all of these shelves is one lot. The Christmas stuff. The gifts, I guess we haven't actually picked any of them up, but I'm told they're all empty boxes. Probably just use them for props in the photos. It would be funny if he had like a bunch of money hidden in one or something. Wigs and stands. There's not a lot of wigs and stands, and 2 more there. All of these are one lot. We've got the corsets is one lot. The cart is one lot. We sorted out a lot of the props based on season throughout here. Halloween, Valentine's Day. I think there's a St. Patrick's Day one in here. Oh, don't want to forget our tape. So this is all sorted out. As you can see, we ran out of lot cards. There were 900 and 13, 14, 915 lots. That doesn't seem right. I thought, oh, I see. He just wrote this. There's the lot card for here. There are 914, but number 914 is actually the windmill outside, which I took a picture of last week. All right, crisis averted. So everything is sorted here. All of the empty camera boxes, I don't know if there's a market for it, but we listed it. Maybe somebody will go for these. And then picture frames, the tables. We found another pair of scissors. These, I think, Ginger is how you pronounce it. Gingher. Maybe Ginger. I'm not sure. But a rural squirrel told me that those are worth selling, and I just sold a pair on eBay for 50 bucks. This stand here, display stand, is a lot. We did over here, all the jewelry we put in there. The mirror, this vanity, and it's actually plugged in. Kind of neat. I doubt this is gonna sell. No one's gonna want used makeup, but maybe they'll buy it for the organizers and throw out the rest. And then this is all one lot. There's a bunch of Christmas in here. Each of these shelves is a lot. Same with up there. And then all of this is one lot. Someone's gonna have a lot of costumes. This is probably gonna be like, we've got some thrift stores that buy from us. They're probably gonna buy it. They're gonna get it for like 10 bucks and they're gonna sell them for $2 to $5 each. They'll make a lot of money on it, but we're not gonna piece them out. There's some interesting ones down there. This is a lot. Now here's something interesting. All of this is like bodysuits, mostly lingerie. You can't tell what it is. He was smart. He had a printed picture of the model wearing each one in these bags. That way he knows how it looks. I'm not going to show the whole picture because it's a family-friendly channel, but you get an idea like that. This is the factory picture, though. All of these had his models. Now, obviously, we can't sell those pictures, so we had to go through every single one of those and pull the pictures out. And I've got a box full of them right there. There was some in that bottom drawer, too. All of the pictures the bank has to destroy. In fact, all of these picture frames that were throughout the house, hundreds of them were full of adult pictures. And between us and the bank, we had to pull each and every one out so we could sell the frames, and so the pictures themselves would be destroyed. I was kind of poking fun at the ladies who work for the bank because they have finance degrees. And I asked them, when you were studying for your finance degree and everything, did you ever expect that part of your job would be disposing of naked pictures, thousands of them? And they did not expect that to be part of their job description. But yeah, that should be it for this place. We are all done, all wrapped up. I did find one of his business cards too, and it said something like adult provocative photography only. He didn't do anything else. So that's interesting. But we will be back here in 8 days. So my guesses, I always like to do a guess. This one's a bit of a wild card. So 914 lots is by far the largest auction we've ever done. Before, the acoustics are better in here. Before this, the largest auction we'd ever done was 706 lots. We are 200 lots more than our largest auction ever. We are double what we consider a pretty big auction, and we are about 3 to 4 times the size of our regular auctions here. It is a very big auction. The 2 vehicles and the Bobcat, very high dollar items. We've got all the camera equipment that's going to go for it. I wouldn't be shocked if the camera equipment, not even including the lights, just all the cameras in the kitchen, hits 10 grand. We probably have several $1,000s worth of lights. I don't know what these lights go for, but I imagine they're a couple hundred each. We've got like 10 or 12 of those Pepsi shelving units. I'm sure each of those will go for at least $100. The Crystal Pepsi ones, I looked on eBay, none sold, but someone has one listed for $400. So I think that's going to be, there is a lot, all the audio equipment. Plus then you got the usual, the furniture, the household items. My guess is we'll do about $100,000. Our best auction we've ever done was $55,000 a couple months ago. I think we are going to blow that out of the water. I think we are going to beat that just on the 2 vehicles. So I'm going to guess $100,000 is going to be the total in this auction. $65,000 of that being the 2 vehicles and the Bobcat. $35,000 being everything else. That's my guess. Could be more. I don't know. We're also going to blow out of the water the most expensive item we've ever sold, which is about $14,000, like a week ago. That Mercedes we sold. I wouldn't be shocked if both vehicles and the Bobcat each beat that, but at least the Jeep will, and probably the Bobcat. So that is where we're at. We will be back here in 8 days for auction pickup. The auction ends in a week. We are doing a 2-day pickup. We're doing Wednesday and Thursday just because there's so much. So over the course of 6.5-hour days, this place will empty out. The house, the barn, the studio, it'll all be completely empty. I am so excited. So I will see you guys in about 3 seconds. But for me, it'll be about a week. Also, I found 2.5 cartons of cigarettes in the freezers. Cigarettes last a long time in the freezer. They're probably still fine. I'm not a smoker, but I also hate waste, and it seems such a shame to throw away, what, $200-300 worth of cigarettes? So I'm going to try and give them to someone, find someone I know that smokes and give them to them. I did get permission from the bank to do that. I said, I hate waste. That's something about me, and we obviously can't sell these. Can I just take them and give them away to someone? And she said, go for it. So hopefully I can find someone to take them because I'd be ashamed to throw them away. It's an expensive little couple of boxes there. All right, bring this box of pictures into the house and I can be out of here. So remember I said the bank went through and pulled what they thought was all of the naked pictures. Well, all of this, all of that, and all of that is the ones they missed. So they're gonna pick those up probably this week sometime. I'd rather not have them here on auction pickup day just so there's no risk of someone seeing them because they need to be destroyed. Like legally they need to be destroyed. So yeah, I don't want to risk someone seeing them. We also yesterday found a ton of boxes here for the cameras that we have listed over here. All over here. We also found the charger for this D700. Oh, I think there's a D700 box out there. And I'm not going back to the other building. But anyways, we already took the picture anyways. We didn't have a charger for this. We found the charger yesterday, so I charged it up. It works great. But anyways, so a lot of these have boxes here. I'm not gonna go through and pair them together. What I'm gonna do is leave this out. And anybody who buys a camera, I'm gonna say we got a bunch of boxes there. Feel free to dig through and grab your box, if there is one in there. So we obviously didn't list those. I don't know how we missed that D700. We had the box for it, but I guess we missed that one. All right, before we close out that section of the video, I got something in the mail here from Wesley, and it says, use caution opening with sharp objects. Damage to contents could occur. All right, well, let's get this sharp object and open it here. Let's see what we've got here. I'm going to very carefully. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, it's a hat. Oh, I see what this is. It's a Steak and Shake hat. Doesn't smell like Steak and Shake though. That is awesome. Do I look like I work at Steak and Shake? Oh, there's also a pineapple. It's either a pin or a crock charm. I think it's a pin. No, pineapple crock charm. So that's my daily pineapple today, and we've got a note here. It says, hey Rabbit, my name is Wesley. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. I have a small resale business that I run on the side as a hobby. I watch your videos all the time, and I've learned a lot from you, and I'm a huge fan also. I hope to be able to meet you someday. That would be so cool. I'm the guy that sent you the pair of tall Steak and Shake glasses a couple years ago. Oh, yeah, I remember those. I've got them on display right there. Let's see. I know you love Steak and Shake, so when I saw this, I had to buy it for you, as well as the daily pineapple that goes, oh, it goes on a shirt button. I hope you enjoy the gifts, and congratulations on your wedding. Say hi to Mrs. Rabbit. Feel free to read this on camera if you wish. God bless your friend in business, Wesley. Thank you, Wesley. I appreciate that. I'm glad you gave me permission to read it on camera at the end because by then I had already finished. And the glasses he was talking about are these right here. And I actually already have a Steak and Shake hat. Now I've got two of them. They're a little different though. No, it's black background, white background. So I will happily add it to the collection. So Wesley, I really appreciate it. By the way, Mrs. Rabbit is in your neck of the woods right now. She's working in Tennessee right now. So when she gets back, I'll be sure to say hello for you. It is 7:50. The auction has been up for 4 hours and it's already over $7,000. So it is Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. The auction starts closing at 6 o'clock. It'll be one lot every 10 seconds. Normally we do every 20 seconds, but this is such a big auction. We don't want to be here till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So we sped it up to one every 10 seconds. Hopefully that doesn't hurt us too much, but it's a lot of stuff. But I want to show you where we're at so far. We are at $73,155 in bids so far with 265 people registered. The truck, which Blue Booked at about $14,000, is at about $20 now. It does have a plow that wasn't factored in the Blue Book, but with that low of miles, it's really hard to get an accurate Blue Book. The skid steer is at $17,900. We appraised it at about $14,000, but that was before we knew how low the miles were. And the Jeep is right around Blue Book. Blue Book was about $23,000. I'm sure that'll get some more bids soon. Also worth note, there are 912 lots, but 2 of them, what do I want here? I want lot number. 2 of them are informational here. So there's actually 910 lots. We counted 914, but there were 2 lots of chairs that we found the rest of them later, so we had to delete those 2 lots. There was at least 1 item that the trust, the bank, had told us to delete. There was like a vent, really nice, just a vent in the barn that made with nice cedar wood and everything. Turns out that was custom made for the barn. It was just in a box on the floor. They let us know, hey, that's part of the barn, that can't be sold. And because the auction hadn't officially been launched yet, we were able to pull that. And I think there was 1 other item that they asked us to pull too, but I don't remember. It wasn't anything super fantastic. But while this is going, we just launched the next offsite auction, which very well might be the next video after this. It's a car dealership, kind of an auto shop, small dealership, no cars, just all the stuff inside. And that one will be ending next week. So this auction's at $73,000 and this auction's at $2. Granted, this one started a half an hour ago and I think everybody's eyes are on this one for now. I really haven't been filming much of the auction close because usually people don't like how long I draw out on that, but the car is over Blue Book now. I think it was 22 or 23. That was before we realized the broken door on the back, and I think when I ran it, I didn't factor the damage. There are the 2 dents on the back, and then on this side, there's a big scuff. So we're over Blue Book despite the issues, and I'm bidding on a couple of things. Like a lot of these Pepsi shelves I'm bidding on. The first one went for like $100, and all the other ones are going a lot cheaper, so I'm pretty happy about that. For what it's worth, I am so close to having a $100,000 auction. I don't know that there's enough left to push it another $2,500 though. These are still going. I need them to jump like $1,800 combined to get to 100 grand. This one is funny because there's somebody bidding on it who must be a neighbor or something. They live on the same street. And there's also somebody bidding on it in Pennsylvania. Those are the 2 bidders that are even close to this. The next one down is like 22,000. Holy crap, we did it. We're at 100 grand. These 2 are still going and I'm winning a bunch of lights. Some of these speakers are going absolutely insane too. So these keep going up and I got outbid on some of the lights. I did win some of them though. I'm also bidding on, holy crap, speakers at 640. These shop carts, I could use a couple at the warehouse, so I'm bidding on those. But anyways, this keeps going up $5 at a time. I used to have bigger bid increments, like over $100 or maybe over $500. It was like $50 at a time. And I felt that kind of bit me in the back because someone might not be willing to spend an extra $50 yet, but $5 at a time, they'll bid it up $50. So I just changed it. Once it hits, I don't know, 50 or $100, it's $5 increments the rest of the way. I think I might change it after this auction to do $50 increments over like 10 grand, just so it moves a little bit. When you're spending 10 grand, $50 is nothing. But I think the skid steer is finally going to finish up here. The car is not far behind it. And wait for it. Sold. Skid steer went for $24,315, 10 grand over the appraisal. And the car is still going. The Jeep got another bid, so it's gonna keep going a little bit longer. The picture frames are going high. I know a lot of people in the area knew what this guy did. We can't really say much, but I wonder if people think there are still pictures in those. Usually picture frames don't sell. I think this is finally it. Nope, never mind. And the sleeper at the end that I wasn't even paying attention to, the windmill's about to close at 305. For how long the Jeep and the skid steer hung around, I'm surprised how quickly the truck sold. I don't think it even got any bids at the end. Still went for well over its value, but are we finally finished? Can we go home? Sold $25,000, $10, and it was the local guy who bought it, not the out-of-state guy, which I kind of preferred. All that's left is this ladder. When we are done, we got 349 people registered for this auction, 71,000 views, 299 unique bidders. So that means 50 people didn't even bid. 33,000 unique bids, 77,000 bids, and $101,506. Now, if I go back to 2017, my first auction ever, $502. This was August 6th of 2017. If you would have told me 8 years ago when I did that first auction, when I was super excited to make $500, that in just 8 short years, I would be doing an auction that makes $101,000 more than that, I wouldn't have believed you. And if you look at the first few auctions, 500, 700, 600, 600, 700, 800, 400, 500, 700, 1700. That was basically the first few months of auctions here. So 851 of the 910, remember 2 of those were just informational lots. 851 of them sold, which is, what, 59 unsold lots. The best auction we've ever done prior to this was a couple months ago, $55-ish thousand. We almost doubled that. And this is the 4th time in the past 12 months that we've had the best auction we've ever done, meaning it beat the previous record 4 times. And of that, we've got 163 receipts. So 163 people bought something. And here are the most expensive invoices. Obviously, these first 3 are the 2 vehicles and the skid steer, and then it drops to $1,600. Now, assuming everything gets paid for, the consignor will receive a check for $89,456. Ignore that line. The 2 informational lots were put under our own consignor number. So I'm going to scroll through the first page or so. I've got this sorted high to low. Here's what the vehicles sold for. Quite a bit higher on these 2 than what we were expecting, and that one was a little bit higher. This went for about $400 higher than we were expecting. Camera gear, all sorts of different stuff. This went for over retail. This went for over retail. Some of this other stuff, like, I have no idea what that's worth, so I don't know. $380 for these cassette tapes. There are 10 of them. That's about a little over retail. Let's see. The speakers did really well. The skid steer bucket, $300. I don't remember what I guessed, $300-400, something like that. This panel saw I was worried about. It didn't really have many bids until the very end. This went for a little under retail. It's about a $350-400 camera. The trailer went for a little lower than I was expecting. More odds and ends. This, I am shocked at how high. I'm wondering if the buyer thought it's actually gold. Gold filled is basically gold plated, but it's a thicker layer of plating. I guess, for making jewelry, it's probably worth it. Just for scrap value, it most certainly is not, though. Cameras went up there. The laptop did $215. I was thinking about bidding on it, but I wasn't going to pay that much. I was going to pay like $75 for it. I also seriously considered buying the DVDs because I am a huge DVD collector, but $205 is a lot. I think I calculated they're like 600 DVDs. I just, on the picture, counted out 1 shelf, multiply that by the number of shelves, and it's an okay price. It's not an amazing price, and I already am not going to have a lot of time to box this up and whatnot. $200 for this Tempur-Pedic, $195 for this dehumidifier. This DVD lot, the anime ones, did really well. $195 for these cassette tapes. More odds and ends. I wasn't able to get these. Went for way more than what I would have paid. Mind you, I looked them up. They're about 50 bucks each. In fact, I just bought one on eBay when I saw I wasn't going to get this because I do need to replace my filter. So they're about 50 bucks each. So basically you pay for the first 4, you get the next 3 for free. You replace them once a year with this particular type. I just didn't seem like a worthwhile investment for me. Some of the furniture we're hitting here, more camera stuff. The dry mount press sold decently, I think. There's some more of the tapes, computer, couch. This is the one that went for $110. All the other ones, including one identical to this, went for, I don't know, 50 bucks or less. Some of them for 10 and under. And I bought most of them because I wanted them. You may see them displayed in the warehouse. And then we'll just continue down. I'm just going to silently scroll. Here's the silver ones. This is mostly sterling, but it's 14 troy ounces. They got a great deal on that. Continuing on. These Super Nintendo boxes sold for 70. These went for 70 each. There's another DVD lot. Printer ink went for 65. So that was the most expensive 100 lots in this auction. It is 9 o'clock. I gotta wait for all 150 something cards to charge. And then I need to print all of the receipts. And then I can break down the computer. I can't do anything after I've broken down the computer because even though we've got another computer in the other room that accesses this software, what it's doing is this computer is acting as a server, so it's communicating with this computer. So it loses access when this computer is unhooked from the network here. But I gotta unhook it because we gotta bring it to the auction site tomorrow. I'm trying to get as much done tonight as I can, so I don't have a lot to do tomorrow. We're meeting the bank at 9 a.m. in the home because I need to get the titles for the vehicles, and I need to get... That's pretty much all I need to do with the bank. But they also need to unlock the gate that goes back by the windmill so we can get access to that. Thankfully, I didn't lose this. I have to reimburse the lady for that car wash, the lady from the bank. I think I talked about that. If I didn't, I'm talking about it again. I'm not going to edit one of them out. They cannot do anything. They cannot spend their own money on anything because they can't get reimbursed for it. So the only way they can spend money is if they get an invoice and then cut a check from the trust. Car washes won't invoice you. You have to pay for those up front. So what I told her is I said, hey, what if I pay for the car wash and then we'll just deduct it from the total of the auction? She said, yeah, that's fine. But I didn't have any cash on me. So I said, okay, you pay for the car wash. I will pay you back next time I see you. And then we'll deduct it from the auction. And I forgot to pay her back and she hasn't mentioned it, but now I remembered. So since I'm going to see her tomorrow, I can get her $13.72. So we've got 7 payments that decline. Most people will end up paying when they come and pick up. And then a handful of cash buyers who requested not to charge their card. This is annoying. It literally says no shipping on the listing. They need to be kept in the fridge. And I'm not going to show the address, but this person requested shipping. They're in another state. We are back. It is the calm before the storm, before the chaos starts. Camera stuff is clearing out fast. We're pulling shipping this morning. So we're parking vehicles back here. Ben is there, the truck's here. We'll put the Jeep and Mitch's car here just because someone's gonna need to get in there with a trailer to get the windmill. We wanna have this area open. Little problem though is the Jeep isn't starting. It's completely dead. So the bank is getting that mechanic back out here, I guess. I mean, it's a brand new car. It's gotta not have major issues. It can't have major issues, that's what I'm trying to say. All right, we got the sign up, and we are about ready to start. The person who bought the Jeep is here, so I don't know if it's good or bad that the mechanic's here with him. Hopefully the mechanic can't even get it started. He thinks there might be an electrical issue, so we may be canceling the sale of the Jeep. Well, that was a tight squeeze to back into, coming around a corner like this. So the mechanic couldn't fix it. He thinks it's an electrical issue. So as of now, the sale is pending. The buyer paid for the rest of his stuff because he bought like the big mower and everything. But I told him I'm not gonna make you buy this if it doesn't run. So they is gonna get towed to the dealership, and I mean it's under warranty, so as long as it's not like a mouse that chewed through it, it should get fixed for him and be fairly easy. Absolute chaos, I love it. So obviously the person for the Jeep came. The skid steer they called, they said they're coming tomorrow. It was a skid steer dealer that bought it, and the truck is getting picked up from a dealer in Illinois, so I would imagine that's gonna be tomorrow too. I haven't even been back here. Ben is working back here. So a viewer came in and loaded me up here. Whole bunch of Miracle on 34th Streets. So Mitch is wearing the company uniform. I'm wearing the company uniform.
I'm not wearing the company uniform.
You're fired.
But I'm here, so be happy.
You're not getting paid for the day.
Hey, it's okay that he's not wearing the uniform. It's not that weird. I've seen stranger things.
So someone bought the contents of this shelf and he left behind the stuff he didn't want. And on it was this. This is so cool. I'm gonna hang this on the wall at the warehouse. Nice little freebie. You won't believe it. That's an ironing board leaving. This was gift wrapped. It's just an empty box, but we sold this camera, so I'm sure they'll want to have the box for it.
Looking at everything.
So I'm told the tow truck is here, but they can't get in the house into the driveway. I must have some car people up watching these videos. Is that normal to just drag it on those little skids? It seems like it can't be good for the transmission. And it was dragging, like kept turn a little bit and then skid back, turn a little bit and skid back. I was trying to get a shot of it coming out of the garage. They were so happy when I told them about the ramp. Look at this thing that just pulled up. Look at this thing. Even got some of the original decals. This thing is sweet. Day one is done. I'm going around and there's a hole down there. I wonder if there was another dryer vent coming up. I'm going around and shutting off lights, but we also need to make sure doors and windows are all locked because it's very possible someone could have come through here like this. Not even a doorknob over there. This is unlocked. Now it's probably someone just looking to see if they could use that door and then they just didn't think to lock it afterwards. But there's always a risk that someone will have come through and left a door or a window unlocked so they can break in later. So we gotta check everything. So we're in the mother-in-law suite now. Not a lot out of here. Sold a fan, a light, or picked up, I should say. But the pull-out couch is gone.
I'm the flasher.
Oh no, I'm getting flashed. All right. Couple things in here gone.
Hey John, make sure you don't leave any donut boxes this time.
We cleared a lot out, but there's still a lot of stuff left. In this room, a couple of small lots, but this thing's still here. I'm sure that'll get picked up tomorrow. I have not heard from the truck buyer, so I'm gonna have to give him a call. Maybe when I get to the warehouse, maybe I'll wait till tomorrow. The thing is, since I'm leaving my computer here, I won't have access to anything auction related, you know, phone numbers or anything from the warehouse. Oh, I was actually planning on shipping some. I can't ship because I can't charge people's cards since I don't have access to the auction system. It's pretty well lit here at night. Got a whole bunch of lights lining the whole driveway out. Now I just got to get this trailer unloaded and I'm done for the day. I did forget this out here. I'm not going to unlock everything to bring it inside. I'm just going to hope it doesn't get stolen. It's in really rough shape anyways. I need to replace it. I am so sore. I sat down and checked voicemails and I should not have sat down. But we got a viewer package here. This is from, I think this is from Nick. He told me he was sending something. It's got his city, but the name is cut off. So I'm assuming this is from Nick. And he says, you like eBay merch? Here's some NYCC stuff. Go Pat Go, or here we go Steelers. 35-25, at least we didn't tie. The Steelers lost to the Packers. We've got a t-shirt. Ooh, this is cool. I like this. With the kind of New York subway letters. Ooh. And we've got a hat. I'm getting so many eBay hats now. And then we've got, what is this? The cat butt mini kit. Christiana's going to get a kick out of that. We've got an eBay pin. And we've got Packers Steelers at, it says Assure Stadium. I don't know what that means. It's Heinz Field. But I was very happy to see Jordan Love teach the Steelers how to play football. So thanks, Nick. I really appreciate that. I don't want to go empty this trailer. Why don't we open another viewer mail? This is from Debbie's World, and I have no clue what this could be. A lot of times I will get a package and assume that it's Miracle on 34th Street, but there is not going to be Miracle on 34th Street in here. Trying to open this carefully so I don't damage the item. I also, what in the world is this? So we've got Resale Rabbit for your collection of interesting things from Debbie on the back. And also, thank you for your purchase. I don't recall purchasing anything. What is, oh, and we got a YouTube for Debbie's World. What in the world is this? It's in a space bag, which has been taped shut. Why do I have a torso? I don't understand what this is. This is so weird. I think it's a pillow that looks like a person. Christiana will like it when I'm gone. Then she can pretend that I'm still around. So having spent the day in, I'm not going to say the word on YouTube, but it rhymes with corn. That type of studio. This is actually kind of giving me the creeps a little bit, but I will definitely appreciate it more once I'm a little further removed from this week's work. So Debbie and Nick, I really appreciate the gifts. I wish more of you sent me gifts, because then I wouldn't have to go empty out the trailer right now. First thing this morning, this is getting picked up. Guys here, ready to go. This is such a nice truck. I'm kind of regretting not bidding on it. So we knew the truck sold to a dealership in Illinois, but we didn't know all the details.
Okay.
I looked up the city he's in. It's not near Chicago or near the border. It's near St. Louis. He's flying to Green Bay today to pick it up, and he's going to drive it back.
Some dedication.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Because a last-minute flight from 2 small airports is probably going to cost him like $1,000.
Must want it that bad.
I guess so. Look what wasn't stolen. Someone got a really good deal on this. It sold for like, I don't know, $9. I think it's just because no one wants to move it. This is probably worth a couple $1,000s. I was shocked at how cheap that went. I bought this in here. It's plumbed in. I gotta figure out how to unhook this. I haven't really looked at it yet. So this sold on eBay a few years ago for $2,800. No active or sold since. It is big and it's probably heavy. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, but I spent 250 bucks on it. I planned ahead today. Yesterday, oh, we got a big box truck coming. Moving truck backing in. So yesterday it was too hot to wear a jacket, but too cold to be in short sleeves. So today I've got long sleeves under my work shirt. That is an old mud flap. It's got a 414 area code. Green Bay changed to 920 in 1994, if I remember right. And then 414 stayed with Milwaukee. So that means this mud flap is older than 1994. And the chaos begins. And so the madness begins. So the first room to be emptied out, if you're not counting like closets, is going to be this room here. There weren't a lot of items in here though. And there are a handful of rooms very close behind. So let's go check on the windmill because that's coming down and they did not bring any equipment.
Yeah, we explained that too,
They make it look easy. So I actually bought this lot for $2 and I bought it just for this board here. So I'm gonna try and see if I can give some of this stuff away. Get rid of it. There's a lot of good cedar if you need little project boards. It's kind of dead here. It is 3:50, so about an hour and 40 minutes left for pickups. And I don't know if we've had anyone show up in the last hour or so. This room, I believe, is done. I think the guy who bought this forgot to grab it, but oh well. And that guy said he's not coming. This, I don't think sold, I'm not sure. And of course that had to stay here. I have no idea what this is. I don't remember seeing this anywhere. In here, it might have been buried underneath something, who knows. Let's take a look. This room is done. We've got one more lot in here that needs to get picked up. Take a look upstairs. I think we're done upstairs too. Furniture is gone. Oh, we still have a closet in there. These cinder blocks he had his bed up on are still here. It's so weird. But other than that, we're all done up here. I think all that's left is this closet. Whether or not this sold, I don't remember. And that's it for the upstairs. This would be a good place to put a slide. And there's another couple of these openings here. Speaker wire coming out. I don't know. Whoever buys this is gonna have to try and match that somehow or replace the whole thing. So we've got an hour left and I'm a little worried that this hasn't been picked up. And honestly, while we had those branch saws, I should have cut some of this down to get to it. The guy's already unhappy that we don't have equipment to load it for him. He's gonna be really annoyed when he sees this. This foundation's pretty cool. It's just like level up there with the ground. I bet you find some cool stuff out here with the metal detector. There, I cleaned up quite a bit. All this wood was dead and I was able to just break it off, except for this. Let's see if I can find some sort of saw for that. Yeah, this place is pretty cleaned out. No saw blades, no axes, a couple of lawnmower blades, but I don't need to take it out that bad. So hopefully whoever bought it is able to get through without, or with that branch hanging down. So I found a blade. This is actually for, I'm assuming it's Vintage Village Blacksmith. Doesn't sound woodsy, but I think this is for a branch saw. Sure looks like it. Let's see how hard this is gonna be without the handle. Well, it's not going easy, but I think we'll be okay. I've been basically doing this enough to, you can see just in that far, to be able to snap it. All right, there's some of it. There's some of it. There's some up there. And we now have a clear path to this bucket. About 5 minutes till we close. The people who got the skid steer bucket are back there loading it up. We've got like 5 people who didn't show up, but they all got cheap. You know, $2, $3 items. Your voice is back there. So we're gonna close this building up, take one last look around, do our walkthrough. That's just trash. Everything in here appears to be gone. And boy, is there a difference over here. This place has emptied out. I need to take these boxes with. They sold, the person didn't pick up. But this one I realized after the fact it's for a camera that we sold that's getting shipped. So I think they're gonna want that. So we'll grab these boxes. This didn't sell. Oh, these didn't get picked up. So an interesting thing I figured out in here, all this piping, this is a radiant heated floor in this building, which is pretty awesome. So this person did not pick up. I think they picked up, but they didn't grab that. This person, someone from the charity bought a bunch of stuff and she was a joy to deal with, but I guess we're leaving her stuff here and because the charity's coming.
We also had a media cabinet with Denon stereo receiver.
So I guess the charity's getting all the unsolds. I doubt they're gonna want them, but they're gonna get this stuff later, I guess. Over here, I mean, this is all emptied out. Whoever bought this didn't want it, but they took the other one. They bought them both. Those light stands I'm gonna grab, they weren't picked up. This didn't sell, this dark area. This is so nice for photography, how dark it is here and muted. That they didn't pick up, and Ben wanted us to take it for him because she said we could have it, until I pointed out that this was from things that you probably don't want to touch. This I gotta check on. The person who got the bed didn't want the box spring. This chair I'm not worried about. So we're pretty emptied out in here. There's not much left in this building. Oh, and now this fridge is gone. I can finally show you the back of this door. That is a serious steel door. This thing, yeah, it was a very interesting choice to put this door in here. I think this was probably put in when this was used for dog grooming, maybe. I don't know if this was like this when they were doing dog grooming. I have no clue. But that is the last look. It's time to shut this building down. And I'm sure it'll look very different when the next owner buys it, because I'm sure this is gonna be like a wood shop or an auto shop or something like that. All right, Mitch just left. Last customer is leaving. They got the skid steer bucket. Let's walk through. This was bought by that person with that charity, so they're coming back for it. Other than that, garage is basically emptied out. Oh, I gotta bring this back inside. So garage is basically emptied out. We'll head into the kitchen here. Empty. That didn't sell. That's just an empty box. Everything else in here is gone. Cabinets got cleared out. Ew. I'm not dealing with that. And they did get the stuff in the dishwasher. Good. They didn't take the ashtrays though. We did miss. There was, when they were cleaning out the cabinets, I don't know how. Mitch is the one who did the cabinets. I don't remember where I was or why I wasn't up here, but maybe I was in the bathroom or something. When they were clearing them out, the customer, they had a set of 3 really nice matching stoneware. I think they were Roseville mixing bowls. Those should have gone on their own. I don't know how we missed those. So continuing over here. Oh, that never got picked up, unless that's the lady from the charity. And they didn't grab this. The people who bought this, I think I'm gonna take that. I should have some room for it yet. Over here, all emptied out. The guy who bought the chairs, I'm surprised he didn't grab this rug. He has a furniture store. It would do well. He does use furniture. That didn't get picked up. We're leaving it here. This room is basically as you saw it a little bit ago. Not much has changed. Upstairs, nobody came for that closet upstairs, so you already saw that emptied. I gotta grab all these and shut off lights yet. Now we'll go in here. Emptied out. So I don't remember if I told you, a little drama with this. The person who bought both of these spent $110. They couldn't lift them, didn't want them. So they asked me if I could try and sell them to the next person, and the next person was actually a buddy of mine. So I said, hey, are you interested in them? He offered $100, but he only wanted the big one because this one has rips. So they were able to get most of their money back for that one, and they just left that. I'm not surprised this didn't sell. It's old and busted. Did they clean this out? Yep, and I think that didn't sell. So this is all emptied out. Now we'll take a walk That sold but didn't get picked up. All this is cleared out. Did this get emptied out? Must have been. Yep, all emptied out in here. And then I think you already saw over here, some stuff was left behind, but other than that, basically all emptied out. And then we'll continue in here. This is such a cool room. I have a feeling whoever buys this place will probably rip that out, put some windows in here. But washer and dryer is gone. All the stuff that was in here is gone except for the waiting room chairs and that. And this room basically emptied out. Some stuff was left. Continuing on in here, look at all these nails in the wall. That's how many pictures he had. Continuing in here, look at the dust pattern from the rug. All emptied out in here. And then we've got this office over here. Empty. These didn't sell. I don't know what that is. Looks like just trash. But otherwise, emptied out. And I like to take all of these off too, so we're not leaving the house with a big mess. I can close this up. The ants haven't come back since I swept all that debris and sprayed, so that's nice. Let's back out to the garage. Let's check the mother-in-law suite up here. And I don't want to go up these stairs again, so I'm going to do all the cleaning while I'm up here, shutting off lights. It is warm up here. I wonder, yeah, this is, I don't know how to use these. I think that turns it down. Because, yeah, so it was set to 70 and it's almost 80 up here. I don't know why it's so hot. So, emptied out in here. This lamp did not get picked up. I have no idea who got it, so it's just gonna stay here. Bed didn't sell, and that's it for up here. Now let's head downstairs. They said they're having cleaners come. I was gonna bring a vacuum today and clean all this sawdust up, but they said just leave it. They're gonna have cleaners come. This room, a lot of stuff left, but mostly just like wood material. Decent wood if you're doing like picture frames or something, you need little project pieces. There's decent stuff here. But that's basically all that's left in here. It's funny, some people take the peg hooks and then some people leave the peg hooks. But it's kind of cool how it's all pegboard like this. The office, this shelf, I'm assuming all the shelves and tables left behind are that person from the charity. A lot of trash left in there, but for the most part, emptied out. And then there wasn't much in this room. What was here? I think it's a table, and then I took some stuff off of there. Dark room. Dark room is nice and bright. Pretty much all gone. The guy who bought these enlargers left the cabinets, which I guess if you're gonna sell it and just put it online, you don't really need the cabinet. So that was left. He got that so cheap. And then in here, this light actually didn't sell. The other one sold, but the guy said he accidentally bid on it. So pretty cleared out. I wonder what all of this is going to be used for, whoever buys this house. I wouldn't be shocked if they take this wall out and just make this one large room or something. I don't know. Washer and dryer's gone in here. There wasn't a lot in here. There's a little table here. Some stuff in there. Mostly cleared out. And here, this room really cleared out. I'm surprised these cabinets sold. They're cool cabinets, but they looked very heavy. But we're all cleaned out through here. There was some shelving in here. All the anime in there is gone. In here, charity person again got all the shelves, but all of the DVDs are gone. And in the gun room, all the shelving is gone. This is such an interesting house. If they do an open house, I might come check it out once it's all cleaned out. Once they get all the trash out and everything, just to see how it looks. I'm sure it's not gonna look much different than this. I'm pulling all these, but this is interesting. This was full of sockets. They grabbed the sockets and the wrenches, but left the case. Crap, I bought this lot. I thought Ben grabbed all these, so I gotta box this up. All right, it's getting dark. I wanna get out of here. So in here, we're basically all cleared out. I bought this just for a few boards, and I was able to give a lot of the cedar that was up there away. They left a bunch behind though. Good project pieces, probably what they use for these walls. This area is empty. This is kind of neat. I've never seen this. It's a mechanical lock. When the door closes, it'll engage. Let's look over here. There. And then when you push the button, it'll unlock before it opens. I kind of want to get one of those for my garage door. I don't really want to go up here, but we got to get a video of everything to show the condition we left it. That way, if anything comes up or someone's upset, we can show exactly how we left it. So this area up here, cleaned and cleared out. Not really, but there wasn't much quality stuff up here anyway. It was kind of I think this was his catch-all for stuff. And I can't tell if this was done intentionally. You hit the light switch with your feet. And then back here, we're pretty well cleared out, including you couldn't even walk back here before. Now this is completely emptied out. All right, keys are left inside. The bank will be here in the morning to assess what's left and get the key from me. Time to lock her up and be out of here. So that is this video. As far as the Jeep is concerned, I am pretty certain that there are gonna be no hiccups because the bank is paying whatever it costs to have it fixed, and then the buyer will buy it. I wanna get this video up tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and edit it tonight. So if you're watching this on Friday, on Halloween, then you're seeing me talk about the day before Halloween, because today's the day before Halloween. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If for whatever reason something wild happens where the car doesn't end up selling, I'll leave a comment. I'll pin a comment down below to note that. And of course, we'll probably just have to resell it. So you'll see it in another auction. So anyways, really cool house, really cool auction. This one was a lot of fun. If you follow on Patreon, you'll be able to see all the stuff that we're shipping out from this auction, probably in tomorrow's video. Where's that light? There are too many light switches in this house. Well, this is so weird. I realized yesterday that light wasn't working. And I checked it again when I plugged in the trailer this morning. It still wasn't working. That one was, this one wasn't. Wait, let me try something because the running lights are on now. So I've got the hazards on, you can see. So it's the flasher on this side that isn't working. So I don't know. It looks like it's the same LEDs, so I don't think that would be an issue with the light then. That answers that question. I think it's, I don't know how well you'll see this. I think this is going bad, and it's because this is constantly pushing tension on. There's a poor design. So I think I'm gonna cut this, put a new one on, and try to, I don't know, see if there's one that's rigid far enough out where this isn't pushing on the wire. I think that's what the issue is. I thought I got lucky and it just magically started working again.